I'm very far behind on getting these loaded up onto the YouTube channel, but I'm working on it. Welcome everybody to All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection. It's so good to see all these familiar faces and new faces, and so glad to have everybody here. I see we have Santa's here, and we've got Wayne, Natalie, Sam, Chris, John, Stephen. Man, we got a bunch of us here today. Ruben, Richard, Terry. I really appreciate y'all taking your time out to come together today. All right, so as you know, we always start with either a riddle, a pun, or some kind of joke, but how did the hacker get away from the police?
Oh,
Any guesses?
how did the hacker get away from the police?
I'll give you the answer. He ran somewhere.
Oh.
I thought Sam might appreciate that joke, and Richard. So let's see here. So
yeah, that's an Ace Cosby joke of the day joke.
Yeah. For our agenda today, we start each meeting with a minute of silence, but I have a little something before that. And then we have our, sorry, I got to move stuff out of the way here, our Pledge of Allegiance, a national anthem. We talk about who we are, what we are, where we are, when we are, all of that. What the scuttlebutt.club is. We're going to have our hero highlight and our actually, I've got those switched around, but we'll have our business briefs and our chat information, and then the hero highlight, and then our spotlight speaker, and then announcements and reminders and inspirational thought, and then fellowship and more. So I wanted to start before we do the minute of silence, just to show you all this video. I mean, this, YouTube video that I saw about Corey. I can't say his last name. Comparator. Well, he'll say it here in this video. So. And in case any of you don't know, I'm sure you all do, but he is the spectator at the Trump rally who was shot and killed at the assassination attempt. I believe he was behind Trump. So.
The water just came straight through.
Been wanting to see you on.
I am my own man. On Tuesdays. I am my own man. On Tuesdays.
I just wish it didn't happen. I just can't believe it happened. Truly a good, God-fearing, hardworking man, loved his family. This was the last thing that this man ever deserved. He's a man that give the shirt off his back to anyone. I mean, in his last moments, he was shielding his family from the gunfire, even if that was just a random civilian beside him. He would have done the same thing. He was a man that just wanted to protect and serve and love. He was truly a man of love.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News.
Okay, so we'll start. Oops, went too far. We will start with a minute of silence if y'all want to remember his family in our nation at this time. Okay, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're able to stand, feel free to. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And then I have a national anthem for everybody. Oh, it's not.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise as we honor America and those who protect it with the singing of our national anthem by Carlton Smith.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
I don't know why it moved me off of my slides. Hang on 1 second. There we go. Can you all see everything? All right. So the who, what, where, when, how, and why about our group. We are for military veterans, first responders, advocates and nonprofits, their families, and anybody who wants to do business-to-business networking with them. What is this group for or about? It's for sharing helpful information, a connection hub for businesses and organizations that want to connect with or are run by our nation's heroes, like the one we're going to hear about today, and promoting one another's businesses, services, and organizations. And people are from sea to shining sea, overseas and on the sea. My son's actually talking about maybe being a ship captain someday, so I'll have to have him join us out when he's out on the sea. But we meet on Zoom, or if you take a cruise, make sure you join us. When do we meet? Right now. Just make sure when you put on your calendar, you make the adjustment for whatever time zone you're in, and we meet on Zoom, normal Zoom courtesy. I don't need to tell you all of that. And then how do we meet? Why do we meet? We meet to be resourceful, to connect, set up one-to-one meetings, camaraderie, encouragement, just to help empower one another with our businesses. And the scuttlebutt.club is, you can scan that QR code and it should take you to this landing page. And this is usually, there's a Zoom meeting link if you ever can't get to the other Zoom meeting link, you can get to it this way. Also, I will be posting more YouTube videos on there, and at the bottom there is a link to, there's a form to fill out if you want to be a spotlight speaker. And it looks like that if you pull it up on your computer. It's full page. And then we have two groups, the All Stars and Stripes Heroes Connection and our Military Spouse Entrepreneurs group. Both of them are growing. And if you haven't joined both of them, go ahead and get on there so that you can share your business and interact with other people. And then we're going to stop right now to do our business briefs. I kind of whizzed through that as quickly as I could so we have more time. All right. Terry, did you want to do the business briefs today? Are you good to do it? Or would you like me to? Oh, okay, you're muted.
No, I'm good. I can do it.
Okay. I'm going to hand the baton over to Terry.
Okay, well, I hope I don't drop it. Anyway,
You do, I'm here.
welcome, welcome everyone. I hope you're all surviving this heat. Oh my goodness. Hopefully it will subside this week. Anyway, I'm going to start with Natalie.
Good afternoon. I was just doing my chat, so I had to finish that. I am pleased to be here. I'm in Westland, Michigan. I am enjoying tremendous health, having been using the Shaklee nutritional products for 43 years, also the skincare and the cleaners for the home, which help get rid of the toxins that are coming in through our cleaners, our skincare, our food, and are destroying our health. So if you'd like to have a toxic-free home, which is also good for the waterways and the environment, I would love to speak with you. People think that products that work and that are green are expensive. A penny a pint for window cleaner is not expensive. And we have all concentrated cleaners. They change the lives of many people, especially if you know somebody with COPD or kids with allergies and asthma. Love to speak with them. And this month we have free membership with any order. So all my information's in the chat. Say hello. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Angela. Natalie. Yeah. Okay. Now let's see. This is weird. We only have 3 women on here. Oh,
Hey, that's a huge, that's a bunch.
it is. And that's different from what we normally do. So, okay, I'm going to go with Richard.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Richard Brooks, and I'm proud to say that I'm a Legal Shield associate under Angela Nelson, who's supporting me and helping me. And the main thing I want to just quickly mention is, I don't know if you've been following the news, but with all the data breaches that have been going on, they've now announced that every single American has been affected by one or another of them. So the main thing I'm promoting currently is our identity theft product, which is called ID Shield. It's very inexpensive, and it not only provides a $3 million restitution policy, but it also provides you with software for both your phone and computer, so you won't get malware and that nasty ransomware that was brought up before. So again, my name is Richard Brooks, and I have my digital business card in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. Okay, let's go with Patrick. We've missed you, Patrick.
That's what all my ex-wives keep saying, but they're aiming guns at me, I think. Welcome, everybody. Thank you very, 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 very much for your service, and not just on specific days. We appreciate you all the time, folks. Jobsoldier.org officially launched on July 4th. We weren't part of the hot dog eating contest, but I ate as many hot dogs as I could that day. Everybody, I just want to thank you for your service. This is a wonderful group. I've met so many of you that are trying to help Job Soldier out, and it means a lot to me. And I just want to let you know that I'm humbly honored to share this space with all of you. God bless.
Thank you, Patrick. Okay, let's see, let's go with, Stephen.
Hey, yeah, I'm Steven, comic book artist and author. And what I do is I sell advertisements in my comic book for conventions. So if you're a small business out there, you're a veteran business, it's a perfect place for you to come and partner with us. We get exposure at these events with loyal, dedicated fans. And also, you know, you hear through the grapevine that it's a little hard nowadays if you're an upstart company or you're maybe an alternative company to get advertising. There's a lot of the social media pressures and algorithms and things like that. Global Comics is a platform that has no editorial oversight over what we as creators do. And this is getting in at the ground game before any of that stuff even begins to be a thing. You can get in here and promote your products with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, let's go with Sam.
Good afternoon, folks. I'm sort of new to this group, as you may know, just a few times. I met with Angela a few days ago. What was that? But
We didn't say anything.
anyway, happy Monday. I'm going to keep it short. Okay, so basically, because I'm a technical trainer by profession, I've done technical training for the U.S. Army. Customers are non-technical. So I'm just going to talk to you because I'm kind of new to this group, just so you see what we do to make sure that your bank account and credit card does not get jeopardized like some of the ones I'm helping with. So the most important thing, I've been in it forever, but it's called artificial intelligence. If you don't know what it is, I'm just going to tell you basically of the future. And you always get AI, artificial intelligence, and SEO to go together. What that all means is that nowadays, when somebody does a search for your business or your type of business, did you know how you're found? It's all determined by a machine. It's called artificial intelligence. All right. Now, for you to become advantage of AI and SEO, SEO means the search engine optimization. You have something to do with it. If you don't take advantage of those two technologies, you pretty much are not going to be found anymore, because even the searching for your type of company is done by a computer. All right.
Thank you, Sam.
Right. So I hope I covered the base, those two, because when, go ahead.
You're breaking up.
You're breaking up on us.
No, yeah. Go ahead, Terry.
Okay, I'm going to move on to.
All right. So I don't know how much I put my basics on the chat. If you want to look it up, just reach out to me.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're going to go.
We would do a phone call if you like. God bless the USA.
We're going to go to a new person that I don't think I've met. Let's go to Heath, who's in the dark up there to the left.
Actually, we're going to go ahead and do mine while we're in the showcase. So go ahead and move on to someone else. That's fine.
Okay. I did not know you are a spotlight speaker. Let's go with our wonderful Santa Claus.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everybody had a fantabulous weekend, minus the, unfortunate news, but Santa doesn't do politics. So I make people smile and I create happy, positive, joyful memories. And how do I do that? I make one-of-a-kind videos specifically for you and your family. Happy birthday videos, Santa check-in videos, Is your business Santa approved? I'd love to have a discussion with anybody that wants to know more about that. I do videos for businesses and commercials and advertisements and stuff like that. But my newest one is, wouldn't it be cool to get a video sent to your clientele from you on behalf of Santa and your business saying, thank you for using my services? Wouldn't that be cool? That's my newest one. So I create smiles and positive memories for everybody around. I'd love to have a chit chat. Stephen, put your information in the chat, please. I'd like to have a chat. Thank you. Back to you, Terry.
Okay, thanks, Santa. Okay, I'm gonna go with Ruben.
Hello, everybody. Guess
your
what
hat up.
What
Lift
happened?
your hat up a little bit so we can see your eyeballs.
Yeah, hold the hat up.
No, I know him. Pull the hat down.
Yeah. Hey guys, I had 2 art shows back to back, okay? And all the artists are using exactly what Sam indicated. They had QR codes for not only their website, but how to pay for the art. Just like that. Made it so simple for the patrons to come in, review it, see it. Hey, I'm buying it. And then I just showed them my phone and they tapped my phone and boop, it was done. They get a receipt, they get an invoice. It's so simple. So if you guys want to get started in it, we get one free, one QR. It's in the chat. And then go ahead and get contact me. We'll do a one-to-one and I'll show you how this system works. It's really easy. So every time I go out, I wear my hat, I wear my t-shirt, and I start communicating with people quickly. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruben. Let's go with Chris.
Alrighty. Hi, I'm Chris Feller. I operate drones. It's Falcon Flight UAV Services. Basically, I'm here to cover the aerial photo and video needs of South Central Indiana. This is something that I can't do online except for the advertising parts. It's got to be done in person. I've done a number of events and such. Currently working on building a client base because I just got my LLC a few months ago. And so I'm still working on that. But I'm able to provide any needs that you would have in this area for any photo or video work, property assessments, that sort of thing that can be done with the drone. And there's a lot can be done with the drone. We're still discovering new things that we can do. This industry is that new.
What part of Central Indiana are you from?
Right across the river from Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
So
Alrighty.
central, right down the I-65 corridor.
Okay, I'm from Indianapolis, so
Oh, okay.
I'm going to
You're
talk to a couple. Go ahead.
You're like due north of me.
Well, I'm in North Carolina now, so no,
Oh,
I'm
well,
not.
you were due north of me then. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I said that right or not. The heat's kind of gotten to me today, but I
Yeah.
might have somebody that I want you to talk to. I got to talk to them first, okay?
Cool.
Okay, let's move on. We're going to go now to Wayne. Wayne Wallace. Is there not a Wayne here?
Yes, I just had to find my mute button.
Oh, okay.
Yes, hi everyone. Wayne Wallace in Las Vegas, Nevada. I am a photographer, video editor, and filmmaker. Been one for 20 plus years. Specifically, what I'm doing now is I'm helping business owners, and in this case, veterans, tell their story with documentary style videos. So if you don't know, there's 2 components to a documentary. There's the narrative track, which we get from doing an interview together. And then I mentor you and coach you with my photography skills to take out your phone and hold it like a real camera. So most people hold their phone like this, which is the not correct way to do it. If you hold it horizontal, it's more like a real camera. And then you can capture footage of your life or your business or your hobbies. And then we can use that footage, which is called B-roll, to put on top of your narrative talking part. And that's how you make a documentary style video. So I'd love to help you guys tell your story about your businesses or your history, your daily life, whatever it may be. That's the best way to engage with the audience that you want to attract. And I'd love to chat with you. I put my info in the chat, or you can just go to waynewallace.com. All my info is right there.
Okay. Now, do you just do veterans or do you do other people, Wayne?
I work with anyone that wants to do video.
Okay.
And I specifically want to work with people that want to do documentary style storytelling videos.
Well, people tell me all the time I need to do a documentary on my story because it's like a soap opera.
Well, let's do it.
I'll put my information in the chat for you. Okay. I love networking, guys. It's so cool, and you can connect with each other. Okay. Who did I forget? John Petros. Sorry.
I'm gonna give you guys a story of how I started out for a change, instead of the old boring what I actually do. Many years ago, all right, not that far ago, okay. Years back, me and my wife took a cruise, enjoyed it so much, and I'll tell you, if you take a cruise and you take a suite, you won't want to go to anything less. Once you're in the suite, you're in the suite every cruise. And I enjoyed it so much. When I got back, I wanted to help other people enjoy cruising just like I did. So I tried becoming a travel agent, signed up with an international company, gave me the website, kept up the specials on the website. I said, oh, great, I'll be getting customers from them. Totally wrong. Got nothing from them except the website. So I figured out how to do ads on Facebook myself. I was running ads. Didn't work out too well, got a few, but not much. Then I bumped into this gentleman on the internet from San Diego, who's been doing marketing at that time for like 15 years. Had hundreds of thousands of students in 75 countries around the world. So I said, hey, if I want to learn how to do it right, I got to learn from the best. So I took a 16-week course online. And that got me interested in marketing, doing it the right way, the proper way. That was 3 years ago. Last summer, he started incorporating AI into it. So I took the course a second time. So now I do ads on all social media platforms for businesses of all types, incorporating AI into the process. AI is, like Sam was saying, AI is changing by the day. There's always new things coming out. I could actually take a photo now. I did it of myself. I took my headshot, put a paragraph to it, and now my picture reads the paragraph and speaks and moves. AI is definitely the way of the future. You don't get into it now, you're gonna miss out. That's it.
You're muted, Terry.
Well, I keep having these coughing spells, so that's why I keep muting it. Anyway, I went to a networking group and we were challenged to do a 45-second commercial elevator pitch through either ChatGPT or Claude. Okay. Now, Claude seems to be happier than GTP. So We all had to go around the room today. So Angela and I want to encourage you. This can be, we really want you this to be your homework for next week. I want to hear these 45-minute speeches with Claude. And all you have to do, just download it and, just Google it, Claude. It's going to take you right to it. You don't have to pay for anything.
How do you spell that?
Claude. Claude.
Okay. Can you put the link in the
Yeah.
chat maybe? Okay, that'd be great.
Claude.com. Yeah. And then chat TPT. I did it. And I mean, my elevator pitch just exploded, but can't get it up on my phone right now. So anyway, I'm going to move on. Anyway, I am Terry Moore. I am a certified empowerment coach, a workshop facilitator, and national speaker. So what I do is I help individuals remove emotional triggers from their past of things that could be holding them back, such as a divorce, or you had parents in your life or other people in your life telling you that you were not enough. And I certainly had that in my life. So I help individuals to remove those emotional triggers. And then as a survivor of domestic violence abuse, sexual assault, and alcoholism and drug abuse, I have walked a lot in everyone's shoes that I help. So I'm very unique in my coaching program because I get to share my struggles with the client as well. And that's why I feel like I stand out unique as a coach. So I put in the chat, I'm also offering a 30% discount on all my services for the month of July, Christmas and July sale. Let's chat. Just reach out to me and ask me more questions about it. So again, my name's Terry Moore with Terry Moore Coaching Services, and I love this group. Angela, take it away.
Okay. Everybody here knows me. If you go to angelanelson.life, that is my digital business card, and there is a link to my calendar on there. I would love for each of you to, even if we've already met, let's schedule another one-to-one, kind of catch up with one another if it's been a while. And I want to also thank everybody here for their service who has served or has family members who served. As the mother of a son who died, who was a disabled Army veteran, and also a son who is about to be a Marine veteran while he's going in the Marine Reserves. So I don't know if he'll be a veteran or not until he gets out of the reserves, but he's getting out August 2nd. And then another son who's serving in Japan in the Marines. So I know the sacrifices that you all are making, and I thank God that they haven't had to see any kind of war in their time other than when they first went in. But they didn't have to be in any wars, but I know some of you did have to, and I just thank you for your service to our country. And let's get together and talk. I'm the How Money Works lady. And reach out to me. Let's set up a one-to-one. I'd love to send you one of these books. How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker, and How Money Works, Take Control for Women. So let's have a talk. And then I'm going to stop now and share my screen again and introduce our spotlight speaker. One second. I was doing a bunch of stuff here on my computer, so I've got to recenter here. Oops. I hope I didn't pause. There we go. So today for our hero highlight and also for our spotlight speaker is Heath Fleener. Heath and I have had the opportunity to talk. You all haven't got to meet him like I have, and y'all are in for a treat to learn about him and his mission, and the nonprofit that he is working that's been growing a lot since I met him. But we're going to talk about his background and his service, how he got to where he is, and then also about what he's doing now. Whoops, went too far. So first of all, Heath, do I have your information here correct on this slide?
Yes, and I shared my Facebook link and LinkedIn also in the chat.
For some reason, these pictures aren't showing up, but those are from Alignable, your awards that you have there. So I'm going to stop sharing though, and I'll pull this back up in a little bit if anybody wants to catch that information. But like you said, he did put it in the chat. But I am so excited to have Heath here as our spotlight speaker, and we're going to do kind of a podcast type where I'm going to ask questions, and if anybody here has any questions, just put your hand up or put your hand up on the emoji thing, and I'll let you ask a question. So this is going to be real informal. So, all right. So Heath, would you tell everybody a little bit about where you came from and what brought you to the point of what you're doing now?
Yeah, so I shared my my operations plan with also in the chat. There's a cover and then the final operations plan, and that kind of goes into the whole mission of what we're doing, our vision statement, mission statement, and kind of where we're going with it. And part of that is kind of my why. So I've been dealing with post-traumatic stress since I was 6 years old. As you can probably imagine at 6 years old where that started with. I started dealing with a lot of crisis stuff through that. I saw my first fatality at 16. I saw my second fatality at 17. I decided at that point I was gonna, at 18, when I could join the volunteer fire department, I did. And with that, I then joined the EMS department as well, became an EMT, and worked my way up to paramedic as a volunteer at 18 years old. My very first cool call was I got to deliver a baby in the back of the ambulance at 18 years old, which was amazing.
Wow.
And I told this story at our first gala, where, you know, here I am, this 18-year-old, I just delivered this baby. I'm excited. This was amazing. This was awesome. And I go home and I'm just on cloud nine. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, we get another call come out. I'm so excited. I just did this. I'm on cloud nine. I'm just, you know, just this ball of energy and everything. And I'm so excited to get out there and get on the ambulance again. We get out there and it's a fatality of 6 people of a family. And no 18-year-old's equipped for that, you know, but this became kind of how my life was. And from there, at 20, I joined the Army. While I was in the Army, I continued my EMS off base and got the opportunity when I was down at Fort Polk, Louisiana, to join a public safety department, which was police, fire, EMS, and dispatcher. And that was when my law enforcement career started. I got out of the Army and continued on that path in public safety, where I just retired due to an injury, career-ending injury in 2021 officially. Throughout my law enforcement career, I've done everything that you can imagine: gang, narcotics, undercover, SWAT, mounted, was about the only thing I never did. I did motorcycle, you know, all of that. So, but the last 10 years I was investigations, and I specialized in criminal sexual assault of minors and violent crimes. And I was on a task force as the lead investigator interrogator. And so you can imagine what movies I watch at night when I'm sleeping. And so that, with a pending divorce, from infidelity and different things, I got real super depressed. And so I went to the VA to get help, and they gave it to me. They gave me antidepressants, and then they kept upping them and upping them and upping them and upping them to the point where they overdosed me on Wellbutrin. Now, anybody who knows anything about the side effects of Wellbutrin and an overdose of Wellbutrin, you're going to kill yourself. You're not going to think about it. You're not going to want to. You're going to. That is just the main side effect of that overdose. And so after months of seeing demons every time I looked in the mirror and all of these side effects and all these after effects of this, I sat down in my chair one night and I put my gun in my mouth and I pulled the trigger. And thank God that I had a light primer strike, which is a bullet malfunction, and it didn't go off. And so my whole life at that point changed. And I had to start doing something differently. I had to start thinking about, what do I do instead of this? Because this is all I wanted to do, was die. I did not want to live like this. I couldn't live like this anymore. And so I had to hyper focus on something. And the retreat for heroes is what I decided that I was going to hyper focus on, to take my mind off of taking my own life. And every day since then has been spent 24/7 on retreat for heroes. And as you'll see in the mission, it is what our goal and our mission is, to assist in the healing of the family unit and post-traumatic stress in our nation's first responders. Now, with that, if we can heal the family unit, and they don't have to go through that like I did, then we're going to heal and we're going to prevent suicide. So what we've developed is, I guess, I can't say that nobody else can do it, because they can. It's just nobody will do what we're doing and how we're doing it. So what I did was, I basically asked everybody that I knew, loved, and trusted that has been through something, how did you heal yourself? And I tried it. And I did this over 2 years, where I tried every modality. If somebody would have told me to hang upside down from the jungle gym, scrape my armpits, and scream like Tarzan, they would have said it worked. I'd have tried it. So what we've done is we've taken all of these modalities that worked for them, worked for me, and we're putting it together under one roof within a 200-acre state-of-the-art retreat center, as we can find land to buy it and build it. Starting with meditation, yoga, but it's all trauma informed. So it's a totally different style, and everything having to do with the mind healing, the body healing, going into then the teamwork of ropes course, obstacle course, a climbing wall, and a rappelling tower that's going to be ADA accessible. So even if someone's in a wheelchair and they want to get on that wall and rappel down, they're getting on that wall. Going into even in the indoor activities, where we're having them work together, like the paint and sip, without the wine, of course, but where they're bringing these activities together, and everything becomes at that point multi-purpose. So one of the things with post-traumatic stress, when we're trying to break somebody out of an episode, is we do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 exercise. And that's where we encompass all of the senses to bring them back to reality, back to the moment and present. So 5 things that they can see, 4 they can touch, 3 they can hear, and on and on and on, to regain all the senses. So even in the paint and sip, they have this painting that they've all done together, each one of them, that they have to take home. So they can see all along, this is a time when we've worked together. So we give them that memory of working together, but we also give them that focal point too when they're in that episode. And we also have different things, other things that we'll be sending home to, challenge coins, all of these different take homes that we'll be using. But everything is designed to be able to come home. Everything's designed to work together. Everything's designed to bring that teamwork back together again, to bring that family unit back together again. So if you look at it, you've got this family working together as a team again, surrounded by 14 other families working together as a team. So when they leave this retreat, they have this now larger family that they didn't have before. They have a place that they can come back to and volunteer, which is another type of healing that's totally different. They have us as a staff on the retreat, but we also then bring in what we call the Century unit. And that is people that will follow up with them on a daily, weekly, monthly basis until they become what we will consider alumni. Then they will be invited back to become those centuries for future retreats. And that's how we create this legacy program behind it. So that's kind of the purpose, kind of the concept behind why nobody else can really do this, because nobody's wanting to introduce these things together.
Yeah. Are you going to have retreats also for, say, single people who've either never been married or they're beyond the possibility of their family being reunited?
So we consider the family whoever their support structure is. So even if it's a single guy that's got his team, his unit, his whatever that support structure is, that's their family. So we consider that the family unit. And they're the ones that are going to be with them. So if it's, say it's a single SWAT guy, we're going to bring his entire team in with him to do this retreat with them. So it'll be a different style of retreat with that type of a family dynamic, but we're going to bring their family in with them, whatever that family looks like. Because let's face it, if anybody that's been in the service, anybody that's been in that public safety arena, that team is their family. It is a secondary family, sometimes a primary family, but it is a family.
Does anybody have any questions they'd like to ask before I hog up time? Yes, Ruben.
Yes, Heath. I paint every Wednesday afternoon with veterans. They're back in Nashville, where I'm from. And in the conversation, every time they paint, every stroke, you can hear all of the different episodes. You can hear how their family either supported them or didn't support them. And then of course, now that they have VA benefits, then you hear the interactions between them and the doctor and all of these things. So it's really kind of a healing process. And sometimes when I'm on an art show or whatever, they reach out to me and say, "Are you going to be on there today?" I mean, it's a family that we've developed over time frame, and they really, really appreciate it. And they're dynamite artists, unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you very much.
That's awesome. And y'all should get together and have a one-to-one as
Yes, yeah,
well,
please.
so that maybe Ruben has some ideas on that too. That's what this group is all about, is collaboration and helping one another. And so one question I have for you is, oh yes, Stephen, go ahead.
So you said that this is geared towards the family on these retreats. So you're bringing in the family with, and I guess how long are these typical retreats?
Typically there'll be a 4-day.
Okay, and you do the flights and all that kind of stuff for the family, or is it just
That's our plan. Yeah.
Okay.
The plan is to be an all expense paid. And the reason we want to do that is we know so I'm a retired first responder. I'm a retired police officer, so I don't make crap.
Yeah.
So
hear you.
I know what it's like. And so to try to get them to pay for it themselves, that's going to be restrictive. Now, once we have one in all 50 states, then, that might change. But no, so we're dealing with Honor Flight, Angel Flight, and a bunch of other organizations like that are actually looking to expand their mission, or at least their pilots, to be able to do part of that with us as well.
Okay. And
So-
what's the application process look like?
So we're working on that right now. We're looking at doing our first retreat in November. So we're building the application. Everything's going to be a nomination based. And that's for us to be able to gain data first off, as to where the families are in their marriages. So that way we can put the right families together. So we don't want somebody that's almost at the end of their marriage with somebody that's, you know, with a bunch of people that are kind of just at the beginning stage of their crisis. We want to kind of tailor it to where we've got people in the same place. And that way they're working together from that same place to kind of help each other get through that. And that's also going to help us decide how many people we bring out. We don't want 15 families that are at the end of their marriage. We don't want it to be that big. We're going to make that a smaller retreat because we want them to have more, more personal time that we can work with them.
Heath, can you talk about like how people can contribute to Retreat for Heroes, and maybe talk about some of the recent possible things that are going on in that area?
Yeah, so our goals are very simple, but very expensive. One of the things, trying to buy 200 acres of ground, that's not cheap. Trying to build a state-of-the-art retreat is not cheap. So we are looking for those sponsors and partners to be able to get us where we need to be. So we are fundraising for that land. However,
There we go. For obtaining land, have you considered looking to some of the local pagan groups? They're very into getting land and keeping it as natural as possible. And pagans as a whole are very into emotional healing. So it might be something that they might want to partner with for something like this. I know because as a pagan, I know some folks that down in Florida was looking to build up enough land that they could set up something very similar to that.
So I'm not against working with anybody, and we don't hold a religious standing.
Oh no,
for obvious reasons.
They're looking at it from the point of they look at it from the point of preserving the natural area.
Right.
That's just nature, because they're a nature-based thing. And they might, in order to help obtain land, they might be willing to partner with you guys, work together to obtain the land, so that they have an area that they can set aside, and then you can both use it. Just something
So
to think.
that's something else that we've also done, is we are partnering with other charities as well. And so that brings an option that we've worked with in Maine. We just got back from Maine, where we did a multiple charity camping trip on 750 acres, where that used to be a strip mine. And the guy just completely redid this whole ground. You can't tell what it used to be now. He totally reclaimed the land. And so he's working with us as a possibility to do something up there that'll be a 99-year lease, $1 lease. But I'm in Florida and that's where my resources are, is here in Florida. So that'll be, a chapter later, that we might do something with, or something else. But what we're doing now, we actually, while we're waiting for the land and for the fundraising on the land, we actually had a lady on Memorial Day weekend called me up and asked if we could use a boat. And so Saturday I met her at the boat, and I'm thinking like it's probably going to be a small fishing boat or something like that, because that's generally when somebody donates a boat to you, it's going to be something like that. It wound up being a 35-foot cabin cruiser.
Oh,
It's still a boat.
It's still a boat. But it's a little bit bigger of a boat.
Nice, a
And so
$300,000 boat, yeah.
yeah, well, it's a $30,000 boat that they were trying to sell. They couldn't get it sold, and then they were still moving, and they needed to get rid of it. So she decided she's donating it. And somebody told her about us and a couple of other charities. The other charities were just going to turn around and sell it. Well, I didn't want to sell it because we can do. I run a crisis hotline, and a lot of times I wind up meeting one-on-one with these people that are in crisis, and that gave me another option to be able to work with them on the water, which is even more healing.
Water
And
is very
so,
calming.
yeah, it is. It's extremely good. And so when I told her what I wanted to do with it, she's like, "Okay, cheers. It's all
Wow.
yours." And
Amazing.
so,
Wait,
but I had to find a place to put it. No, it's where do you,
And
you
pay
know,
insurance.
you got to find a place to put a 35-foot boat. That's not so
well, it depends
simple.
on where in Florida you're at.
Well, so, well, where also what you can afford.
Yeah.
And,
Colorado.
you know, that's the biggest one. And so I wound up going to a birthday party for a friend of mine and was kind of laughing with him. I said, "Hey, you know, I got a new office donated to us today. I got to find a place to put it. You think you can help me?" And he's like, "What do you mean?" And I showed him a picture, and he's like, "Wow, damn, nice office." He's like, "Hold on." He calls his neighbor over. And he's like, "Hey, come over here and check this out." And so I showed him, you know, he's like, "What's going on?" I said, "Well, I got my office donated, and I got to find a place to put it." And he's like, "Holy crap, nice office. What do you do that somebody gives you something like this?" And I explained who we are and what we do. And he's like, "Okay, stop right there." And he calls his wife over. And he tells me start over. And so she is a retired EMT and firefighter and a combat helicopter medic. So right up the alley of what we do. And so I tell her, and her jaw just keeps dropping further and further and further, because all they've ever wanted to do was be a part of an organization like this. They own a charter company, a boat charter company with several different types of watercraft. So the next day, I had a new dock that was half the price of where it was sitting. And he has now become our aquatics director. And now their for-profit company has now become our fleet for our nonprofit company. And so starting November, we're going to be doing our first retreat. It's just going to be on the water, not on land.
I'd like to apply for the office manager job, please.
We're always
Right.
accepting volunteers. But
Well-
one thing also we are looking for though is grant writing. You know, that's again what we're trying to do. We're trying to do something huge, and it's a lot to bite off.
Mhm.
So, you know, if anybody knows anybody that is good at grant writing or anything else, you know, that's something that we could definitely use is help on that front.
Heath,
But, you know, yes.
Heath, don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to remember what I'm saying here. I ran a nonprofit, and one of the things that we went to the colleges, and
Mhm.
we hired grant interns to write these grants. And they did a phenomenal job. And
Interesting.
you
Okay.
don't have to pay them either unless unless it's another situation where you do pay them, and it's not very
Right.
much at all. So get
Very
to the
interesting.
colleges. Yeah,
I
get to
wanted-
the colleges.
I wanted to, because I know some people have to leave for other meetings, and I don't want to, I don't want anybody to have to run out, but I know you got to run. So I'm going to try to wrap up. And do you want to tell them, everybody, just make sure you save the chat, because I believe, Heath, did you put your information in the chat?
I did.
Okay.
I'm not
And I
entirely
can-
sure how to save the
yeah.
chat. Can you save that and
And-
send it to me?
Yes, and Heath is
Okay,
on
perfect. Thank you.
Alignable, so make sure that you send him a connection request. If anybody wants to hang on a minute, I'm rather than going through the slides. Thank you so much, Heath, for
Yes.
the just talking to
Yeah,
us.
thanks for
and
your service too, man.
everybody,
Oh,
and
and
thank you for your
so much for your
service.
time.
Yes, this was awesome. And also, Richard, I believe you wanted, I wanted Richard to make an announcement. Richard.
Well, I just wanted to mention that if anyone needs any help with Lineable, I have a group called Providing Solutions. I have right now 3 scheduled Smart Connects per week. I'm eventually going to go to either 5 or 6 Smart Connects per week to try and help people promote their business or their organization. So
When are they?
I have a weekly Smart Connect on Monday at noon Eastern time. I have a Smart Connect on Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern time are the 2 that I can invite speakers to. And then I just have another one on Thursday afternoon, which is a different type of Smart Connect. So,
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
You're welcome.
Richard. And then make sure if you see your face up there, make sure you mark your calendar for when you're supposed to speak. And we have lots of dates opened up. And that was our announcement from Richard. And the quote, I just wanted to share this quote for anybody who's left. I felt like this was very appropriate for what happened over the weekend. What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate.
Yeah.
I thought that was very appropriate, whether you are a Trump supporter or not. As the 45th president of the United States. Oh, and this was like, I got a job sketching suspects for the police. Oh, so you're a con artist? So anyways, well, that wraps us up. Thank you so much. I'm going to stop. I was going to try to get a picture, but I know everybody had to leave, or certain people had to leave. So let me see here. I'm going to stop.
Bye, everyone. Gotta run. Gotta get to another meeting.
Guys.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for your time.
Oh, Rich,
Heath already set your connection.
Huh?
Okay, awesome.
Oh, good. That's great. Yeah. Did you ever connect with a guy, Two Wolves Scuba? Did I send a connection?
Yes.
Okay, good. You did. Okay.
Yeah, we've had a couple conversations.